from the Ticats Audio Network. This is the Ticats This Week.
Another edition of Ticats This Week hitting you right now. It's 4 wins in a row. The Ticats feeling fine, and they're trying for the first 5-game win streak when they take on the Lions this coming Sunday night. It'll be their first 5-game winning streak, should they get the dub, for the first time since 2019, when they won 7 in a row from Week 15 to the East Final. And we won't talk about the 2019 Grey Cup, but this is Ticats This Week. Tiger Cats, BC Lions this coming Sunday. Pre-game show begins at 6. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Yes, this is a 4 p.m. Pacific Time game out on the left coast. Hamilton trying to keep the ball rolling. We have a number of hot topics to get to today with Simoni Lawrence and with Matt Bucknor. We're going to talk about the secondary, some props to Destin Talbot we'll get into. We'll talk about some special teams because they certainly need some love. Yes, we'll focus on the offense as well. And we'll also talk about the best and worst day of the week that these two fine gentlemen loved or hated during their playing days. We'll get to that as well. But as we always do, let's look at what is happening in Week 8 in the CFL. I already referenced Hamilton at BC on Sunday. It all kicks off Thursday night in Calgary as the Red Hot Stampeders host the Montreal Alouettes without Davis Alexander. He's on the 6-game injured list with that bad hamstring. Friday night, Edmonton is in Saskatchewan, and then Winnipeg at Toronto on Saturday. Standings-wise in the West, Calgary and Saskatchewan both at 5-1, Winnipeg at 3-2, the Lions at 3-4. They're coming off a loss. Edmonton 1-4. And in the East, it's the Ticats with 4 wins, 2 losses. The Alouettes at 4-2 as well. Toronto struggling at 1-5. The Redblacks even worse at 1-6 after Hamilton handed them another loss. Sim and Matt, welcome to the show. This is going to be a barn burner. Matt, we're going to start with you. 4 straight wins. How good are the Ticats playing right now? And are they just scratching the surface?
They are definitely just scratching the surface. With four wins in a row of one, it's against all Eastern opponents, and I think that's just showing how dominant they are in the East right now. And then, of course, the first 2 games that they lost, you can almost look at them. Sometimes some people don't look at it this way, but it's almost like a preseason game, right? Those first 2, they're trying to shake off some of the rust from earlier in the preseason. And then getting into a groove going into this that regular season, and they played 2 of the top teams. The teams that they lost to early in the season, Saskatchewan. That Saskatchewan team was again they're number 2 in the West. The other team that they lost to is Calgary, who's number 1 in the West right now. And so they lost to some of the top teams in the West. And then of course have gone on a 4-game winning streak. And I agree, they are just scratching. They're just getting started. You see what Bo Levi is doing. Bo Levi, he's leading the league right now in passing yards. Not only is leading the league in passing yards, he's also leading the league right now in touchdowns. And so this is, I think, the offense, if we're just going to focus on the offense, they're going to go the way Bo goes. And it's just so funny because talking about Bo right now, I remember there was some rumblings not too long ago about Bo's play last year and the year before. It's we need to get rid of this guy, and he's over the hill. And then now look at him. He was the MOP last year. And then he's still continuing that trajectory right now. And I think and then you see the chemistry that him and Kenny Lawler have right now offensively. I think it's just, they're just going to continue to build off of what they've just started. And I mentioned Kenny just now, and how can we not talk about Kenny Lawler if we're talking about just the trajectory of this offense or trajectory of the Ticats? And Kenny, who has 8 touchdowns, he's leading the league in receptions. He's top on touchdowns as a receiver, and he's been lighting up the highlight every week. It's a new highlight from Kenny Lawler, and it's been great to watch, great to see. And I think again they're just getting started. And I won't get into the defense. I won't get into the defense just yet because I have a feeling, Rick, we're going to get into that in a second. But yeah, I think just talking about the offense, I think they're just getting started. And the sky right now is the limit because this team they're winning football games in multiple different fashions. They're blowing teams out. They're winning close games. They're getting it done in different areas. And so I think this is a team that's winning with the 4-game winning streak. They're winning in really good fashion. So I think this is something that Ticat fans and of course the Ticats should be excited about.
You mentioned Bo Levi Mitchell, and it's strange to think about a year ago he was benched And Taylor Powell was coming in to start, and unfortunately he got hurt. But
Right.
since then, Levi
Right.
Mitchell's been the best quarterback in the CFL, hands down. I mean, I'm not taking any other guy over my guy, Bo. He's been electric. Simoni, this team is 4-2. How much better can the Ticats be going forward?
To see how much better the Ticats can be, Matt, Rick, and Hamilton Nation, is the first thing you got to do is you got to get into the West and play competitive football. Because to be completely fair, we are just better than all of the teams that we are playing right now in the East Division. Like physically, mentally, how smart we are, coaching-wise. Because right now, the Hamilton Ticats are the beast of the East. And the teams that kind of like, nobody worries me, nobody makes me nervous, but the teams that are able to give the Hamilton Ticats a good game is a balanced attack football team. And right now in the East Division, we just don't have that. So the Hamilton Ticats can do what they may. As far as scratching the surface, I think that they reached their they're at where they play great football at. They're playing great on all three phases. Special teams, impact players all over the play, and they're consistent. Offense, talking about Bo, baby. Bo got a lifeline in Kenny Lawler. That boy's nasty. Every single game, and Bo is playing great football. I said the other day when we were calling the game with Rick about how good his feet is, how he's not just quitting on plays. His feet is, he's moving. The things look good, you know? And then the defense, they've been speaking for themselves. They're playing great in all three phases. And the way that you can see how the trajectory of the game will go is how the other how the other teams that are playing great on all three phases, like a Calgary, like a Saskatchewan, like Winnipeg plays, you know what I mean? They're known to play great on all three phases. And that's when you can really test the team's energy and competitive level. In the East Division right now, no disrespect to any of the little homies in the East right now, but we the beasts of the East. We run that right now. We understand that we're the only team right now that's playing great on all three phases consistently. And that's how we were able to run through the East, beat Ottawa 2 times, beat Toronto, beat Montreal. And now the way that we can see that is when we go into this West and we start putting it on some of these West opponents to see where our trajectory is. And that's just the honest truth. We gotta play the big dogs now. We done set the tempo in the East right now. We gotta play some of the big dogs to see what's going on. We are the big dogs though. We the beasts of the East, but we gotta run into some heavy competition, some people that get coached well and play football well on all three phases. I don't know. What you think, Rick? What do you think, Rick?
Well, I agree. I mean, you look at the records in the East and the West, and they're two completely different conferences. You know, Montreal's gotten off to a good start, but they've kind of stumbled. They're not going to have their starting quarterback for several weeks, we think. You know, you look at the Argos and the Redblacks that are combined 2-11. That's nothing to write home about. And apart from Edmonton, the West is much stronger. You know, Calgary and Saskatchewan, they're combined 10-2. Winnipeg above 500. BC just under 500. The Lions are going to be a stiff test this coming Sunday, that's for sure. And you talk about going through the West. And that's what Hamilton's going to be doing this Sunday in BC. Then they're in Edmonton the following Saturday. Then the Tiger Cats are hosting BC, another Western opponent. Then they're in Saskatchewan for Week 11. And then it's the bye week before the Labor Day Classic. So the gauntlet through the West is going to begin this coming Sunday in BC. But let's give a little bit of love and some props to the defense too. Matt, you kind of mentioned it, and Sim, we'll start with you. Destin Talbert made the CFL honor roll for his performance in Week 7. He had 6 defensive tackles, he had 2 interceptions, he had 2 pass knockdowns. Got to give props to Brendan Revenberg as well. Also made the honor roll in the left guard / left tackle position as he was forced into that role into the game against Ottawa. Sim, is Hamilton's secondary the best in the CFL right now?
Listen, I don't need no stats because I cover the Cats. You know what I'm saying? I don't need stats because I cover the Cats.
All right.
Let's just talk about it. Who is the lead leader in interceptions right now? Tied for first, Jamal Peters with 3. Next to Jamal Peters, who is in the league with interceptions? Dustin Talbert. I don't need no stats. I cover the Cats. Who else leads the league in interception? Stavros Katsatonis, a.k.a. Goose. Who else leads the league in interceptions? Who has interceptions? Amos. And we can look at stats and just say, okay, they're just stats, they're just numbers. But you ask any DB, Matt, what do you want to lead the league in?
Interceptions.
Thank you, sir. I thought you went to sleep for a second. Interceptions.
Listen, let's not forget about
the league in. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not forget about Jonathan Moxey. He's got 2 as well. Those 5 guys have 10
got
picks.
2 too. I was almost to the field. I had to get Amos out the way, but I was almost there. We get into Moxie, and then we go stay at Moxie because look, Moxie is not. They're not just playing interception, pretty boy football, getting picks and doing all that. We need to see what defensive backs around the league is hitting like our defensive backs. Moxie plays behind the line of scrimmage all day. I love the way he makes a big play every single game behind the line of scrimmage. He's tackling extremely well and physical. Amos, man, we got to clap it up for Amos. Because Amos is what you call, in my opinion, the firecracker right now. When I was watching that Ottawa game, I got the chills. I was like, what? This man is coming up and violently hitting anything moving. And he's blitzing off the edges and smacking people as well. What DBs in the league, Rick and Matt, are coming off the edges like Dustin Talbert and Amos right now? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then Jamal Peters. God, we went from the field all the way back to the boundary. This is so fun being able to go anywhere on the field and talk about greatness right now. Jamal Peters, what is he doing? They be trying to run these screen passes on Jamal, and he picks these little kids up, and he says, get out of the way. I'm making the play. They not even giving the linebackers time to get to the ball because they are hungry to make plays. And look, a lot of people don't be thinking I'm playing about this, but this is a sports entertainment business, yo. And there's nobody making plays the way we are making plays. Stavros Katsatonis, we call him Goose. Goose can fly 25,000 feet over the Himalayas, and that's what he did when he caught the interception against Ottawa. Style points, baby. It matters. We put that on the gram and stuff. Kids going crazy. How'd he do that? He got wings for real? Don't get the Dustin Talbert. What is he doing? Hey, Geno Lewis, you said you're the jump ball king and you can moss people and catch the ball over them. Talbert said, no, sir, that's my role now. Acrobatic interceptions, style points. We can play this on TSN all week because these are the plays that we want to see. And I know. He just ducked his head at the last second, but the way that Amos smacked the quarterback, he was like an inch away from a great play. An inch away. That's how y'all remember the movie. It said the game is about inches. He was an inch away from a great play. And that is where we are at. We have the best secondary by far. There's nobody an inch close to us right now, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? For whatever that's worth, little homies. Not talking to Rick and Matt. I'm talking about the other. Because we a team. You know what I'm saying? We a team. But I also got to throw some other people in there, guys. Reggie Uno. Mm-hmm. He's in that secondary as well. I know y'all don't like calling the Sam linebacker, but that's the nickel in the CFL, in the Canadian Football League. That's the nickel. And since he's been back, he's been productive. Second game, 5 tackles and a PBU, almost got picked off. Production, instant production. And then, since I know football so much, we got to throw Ray Wilburn in there. The way they use Ray Wilburn, it makes my heart feel good. Because I was like, yo, that's what I used to do. I used to get the line up at safety and play while everybody playing press man. I'm sitting there yelling, say Bucknor was playing corner. Bucknor, press him. Don't worry about getting beat deep. I got you over top. And if you get caught, it's not getting caught. I got you over top. And Wilburn has been doing a tremendous job at that. He's been dropping out of the sky, dropping back, and making plays because the will position and the sand position are mirrored positions on the CFL football field. And these boys are all playing great continuity football together. And if you watch our shows, that like everybody watch our shows, we got the hottest show in the CFL. You understand that we said that this team plays great together and they create competition amongst ourselves. You can't tell me it don't look like the competition level isn't fierce in that defensive back room. And I got to credit that to Brandon Isaacs right now. Because I go out there and I watch how Brandon Isaacs is coaching the boys heavy. Because Coach Monson's doing a beautiful job calling these plays. Everywhere he calls a play, it feels like they're going to the right direction, or it's never like no miscues like, oh, that was a bad call. No, they're all in the right position. But the thing is the technique. And when I see beautiful technique, I automatically open my little playbook. Who's the defensive back coach? I need to write it down. Who's the linebacker coach? I need to write it down. Because, Bucknor, you spend the most time with your position coach learning the fundamentals and sharpening the fundamentals of football. And the fundamentals of the defensive backs are off the chart right now. And I'm not talking about just simple fundamentals. I'm talking about they're already at the next level type of fundamentals. When I see Goose playing football flat-footed at free safety because he sees a play action and then immediately jumps the side of a play action, I'm like, okay, we're playing football now. We're not just trying to stop plays. We're baiting them to make plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I dare you to throw the football. So it's just another level. To simply answer your question, I'm not giving anything simple. Y'all know that. But to simply answer your question, Rick, yes, we have the best secondary in the CFL.
Matt, let me hand this off to you. That was a great dissertation from Simoni, who should be a lawyer, I think, at the end of the day. Listen, what a difference a year makes, because last year at this time, Hamilton's 1-5. They're not 4-2. They don't have many turnovers last year, and they have almost the same personnel this year, but there's a new DC. Stubblefield's in, Amos is in. Maybe the guys are a little bit healthier this year compared to last year at this time. What do you think is the big difference, especially with this secondary?
I think one, it's the execution. It's these players coming out here, and I love that Sim mentioned it. It's these guys are executing and they're competing at a really high level. You can tell. Even we go back to week 2. It was they're playing against Saskatchewan, and everyone was kind of ragging on Destin Talbot on the way he was playing. But the thing is, Destin Talbot was competing at a high level, and some of those plays that the receivers were making on him in that game, he was right in position. He's competing. He's competing at a high level. So I'm so happy to see that he got the PFF Player of the Week this week, because he deserves it. He's been working hard. And he's a guy that's getting credited. So it's the compete level. It's the execution. These guys are, when a play comes their way, they're punishing offenses. So you see Destin Talbot, they're trying to throw a deep ball on him. He's running the route for the receiver. This is one of the things that the DB coaches will talk about, is running the route for the wide receiver. He's step for step with that receiver. And then not only is he step for step, he's finishing the play, making an interception. Sim, you talk about that jump ball with Geno Lewis. That's him executing at a high level. We talk about Jamal Peters, who's leading the league right now in interceptions. He had 4 last year. He has 3 right now. And there's so much football left for these guys to play. And so you look at the production from Jamal Peters. We look at production from Stabs. Stabs, one of the weeks I talked about how Stabs has been not only showing up in the interceptions, and I love that he's getting his hands on some of these interceptions, but he's also tackling well. So there's been some times where a running back's going to get second level. He's there cleaning it up. We haven't seen, with the exception of that one run from Steinbach again, Steinbach with Ottawa at home. with that exception, there hasn't been a lot of big runs that have got past second level. That's Stavs playing at a high level, cleaning up, making tackles when he's supposed to, when the play's coming his way. Again, we don't want to see the DBs leading the team in tackles, anything like that. But if there's an opportunity, you got to clean up. They're doing their job and they're playing physical football. We're talking about Moxie coming up on screen game. We're talking about Jamal Peters coming up in the screen game, showing up in the run. These guys aren't just getting their hands on interceptions. They're also playing physical football, tackling. So these guys are well-rounded DBs that they have. And you got to give a shout out to Ted Gavea, who also did a good job pulling a few of these players in together as well. We had Amos, who just came in, who's a new addition to the unit, right? So, and Stubblefield, another addition to the unit. And these guys are fitting in really well. So again, testament to the DB core leading these guys and making sure, hey, we got some new players coming in. Let them transition nice and smooth. And then of course, they're also leading the league. They're leading the league in pass knockdowns. Now, I want those knockdowns to be interceptions, but regardless, it's these guys getting their hands. They're getting their hands on the ball, and it's making it really tough for these quarterbacks. So when the quarterbacks are the offensive coordinators in these meeting rooms, they're like, hey, this is an opportunistic defense that we need to step up against, and we can't. There's no room for error, because if we make mistakes, it's going to be turnovers. And so, and I love that. I love the high level that these guys are playing at right now. It's been great to see. It's fun to watch, especially as a DB, former DB that just loves watching DB play. I think these guys have been outstanding, and hands down, this is the best unit in the CFL.
And we have to talk about the ebbs and flow of the Canadian Football League, because sometimes you forget about like all of the things that used to happen. You got to remember Amos and Peters, they played together. They understand each other. Moxie and Monson, they all played together. This team is built around people that understand the concepts and understand what everybody needs around each other. And like, that's the biggest difference. When you have a coach like Mark Washington, yes, you might have these players around, but the rapport isn't there because maybe this guy doesn't know this guy, or how this coach likes to do things, or this coach likes to do things. The biggest thing when you're a football coach is having people that understand what you like. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to give people what they're good at and understand what people are not good at, and understand how to protect your players and do certain things and put them in the best situations to make plays. And I think Coach Monson's doing a brilliant job at that, boys. He's just doing a really good job at that, understanding the people around him. And we keep talking about the defensive backs are the leaders. Abso-freaking-lutely, they're the leaders. They're the oldest, most tenured team position group on the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense. So that continuity in this Canadian Football League is how you win championships and how you get to the next level. Continuity and a couple of stars. Continuity and a couple of stars. That's how you win the championship. That's how you get to the championship. So, man, this is fun football to watch. Our DB's the best in the league. Turn on the tape.
Still to come on Ticats This Week, we're going to talk about the best and worst week according to football players. We're going to talk a little bit about Bo Levi versus Nathan Rourke, Scott Milanovich's superstitions, and whether these two guys had any superstitions during their playing days. Tiger Cats and Lions this coming Sunday. Tiger Cats pregame begins at 6. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, as Simoni and I will have the call of the game on the Ticats Audio Network. Matt, we'll stay with you on this one. Let's give a shout out to the special teams. This is three-phase football. Obviously, you got to win at least 2 out of 3 if you're going to come up with the W, unless something bizarre happens in the game. But Hamilton kept Khalil Pimpleton in check on Sunday, and Mark Leggio is on a serious heater. He has hit a franchise record 30 consecutive field goals. Your impression of special teams and how well they're playing?
Oh, the special teams has also been a really big spark for this Hamilton Tiger Cats team. And I'll leave Mark Leggio alone. The man's on fire. He's doing his thing. But I also want to highlight the punt return unit. The punt return units. And I'm talking about the guys that are up front blocking for Isaiah Wooden. So Isaiah Wooden's been getting loose. He's been getting loose, making some big returns. Right now he has 271 punt return yards, which puts him second in the league. but it's a lot of the guys that are, because special teams is all about effort. If you're on special teams, you're on the punt unit, punt return unit, kickoff unit, kick return unit. It's all effort, and these guys are selling out. They're putting it all out on the line for Isaiah Wooden, for getting him, allowing him to have some big yards. And not only is he doing well punt returning, but he's also doing a great job on the kick return game. He's first in the league right now in kick returns with 538 yards on the kick return game. So now that's another unit that's doing well, giving big time effort. So we have to highlight not only the Isaiah Wooden, he's getting his shine, but it's the guys that are up front that are also blocking for him, creating holes, not taking penalties, Ottawa, not taking penalties, Ottawa. And and these guys are doing a really good job opening up lanes, creating creases for Isaiah to get
knowing
loose.
when to take the ball out the end zone, Ottawa.
Yes.
So it's just it's just
what I'm saying?
no, for real. And so so I got to give a shout out to those guys. And now not only the punt return units, but now you have some other big dogs that are coming out here. I know I've been talking about Ternowski, I've been talking about Brian Cole II, but there's been some other guys too that are out here. We got Patrick Burke with 5 special teams tackles. You have Ryan Baker out here with 5 special teams tackles. Trevor Hoyt, 5 special teams tackles. Ray Wilborn, Sim, your will linebacker, 4 special teams tackles. These guys are out here hustling, making plays, keeping these guys, keeping everything in front. Now we did give up a couple big ones, but regardless of that, these guys have been hustling up front, big effort, big time effort. So I got to give a shout out to the return units as well as the coverage units, because these are the ones that you become the heartbeat. You can almost become the heartbeat of this team, because special teams is such a vital part of the football game. We've seen so many games won on special teams, but we've also seen so many games lost on special teams too. And so it's important, and these guys are giving great effort. And I love that you mentioned this, Rick, that special teams has to get their shout out. And of course, Constantino too, who's doing a great job with his placement. There's been a few odd ones that have got away from him. Of course, that's just with the weather, but his average is pretty good right now too. He's averaging 49 a punt right now, so he's doing his job. And how many times have we seen him do these coffin corner kicks, or they're pinning them deep, forcing these returners to make bad decisions? So he's doing such a good job, as well as the punter doing his job. And so yes, the highlight, of course, is a big time highlight is the special teams unit, and I want to see what these guys do on the rest of this stretch. So yeah, shout out to the special teams.
Here's another, what a difference a year makes as well. Ever since Dennis McKnight returned as special teams coordinator, this unit has been, flipped on its head. The coverage unit way better, explosiveness in the return game, punting's better, field goal kicking's better. Coach McKnight has really coached these guys up, and it takes all 12 guys when they're on the field and they're getting the job done. Sim, let's talk about special teams, because last time out on Ticats This Week, I asked the question, should the Ticats even punt to Khalil Pimpleton? And you're like, yeah, darn right they should, and let's go get them. And they did.
Oh man, that's the Hamilton Tire Cats special team. They smoking right now. They smoking. I just had to light up an incense. They smoking right now, and it's relaxed chaos right now. They not on fire. Like, there's some things they need to work on still.
Yep.
But they smoking right now. And it starts with individual play, because individual success is a prerequisite of team success. So this is what's going on. Isaiah Wooden, our returner, let's just be honest about it. He's a lot better than everybody, because it's not like he's making a lot of people miss. He's making real life football plays. So it starts right there in having a consistent, great returner that anytime he touches the ball, he is able to score a touchdown and take it to the house. That's going to get the belief factor in the room behind everybody. Okay, we got one of them ones. And when I say we got one of them ones, it means we got a guy, if we do the bare minimum for, he'll take it to the house. And that's just football. It starts with your returner, because he touches the ball the most. And then consistency. No position on special teams that you want to see the most consistency out of is the kicker position. The guy ain't missed a kick all year, yo. He's 100% for field goal attempts. So 1, 2, and then you got to find the savages. Every special teams needs a player that no matter what, you're going to see him show up on tape, even if he's not making tackles. And the guy that is for us is B. Cole. B. Cole flies around this football field, disrupting everything. I see sometimes they put 2 people on him. They can't block him. All they do is get holding penalties. And it's just complete chaos he is creating. And when you have guys like that, they make people around them get better. I always like Fisher. And now all of a sudden Fisher's making impact plays. He's making tackles. He's tackled Tim Pimpleton. I was like, oh my gosh, Pimpleton ain't got no more gas no more. And it's because Fisher got all the gas now. He's becoming more confident in his abilities to make play. Our special teams are playing great football because of, first of all, the impact players on our special teams are playing great football. Tyler Tanowski, you thought I was going to forget you, bro? Tyler, I ain't forget you, bro. I know you catching passes on offense, but you showing up. And when you showing up for your teammates. That's why I love special teams, because that's all want to. And the thing about all want to is you have to get somebody that's a coach that can get it out of the boys. I don't want to hear no nonchalant nothing in any special teams room. I want to hear fire-cracking jokes, and that's what Coach McKnight's bringing to the team. He has the boys motivated and confident, and when they weren't doing good, he was giving them the cold shoulder probably. Look, I'm going to tell y'all about some of the psychological warfare coaches, too. They was probably looking at people a little different. Man, don't talk to me, man. We ain't playing good. Don't talk to me. I ain't giving you none of this good energy today until you play some good football. You know what I'm saying? So Coach McKnight knows exactly what he's doing to get it out of the boys, too. Our special teams, like I said, y'all, they smoking right now. But by Labor Day, we gotta light it on fire. There's still room for improvement. We gotta light it on fire. Shout out to our beautiful special teams. And look, I can't forget about you, Cat, our punter, big dog, 3-1, long leg kicking, because you're a weapon. And the way that you can flip the football field is kind of not heard of. You know what I'm saying? I watched them kick the ball multiple times out of the end zone. And when a punter is kicking the ball out of the end zone, where most teams concede and just take the 2 points and then put their other team back on the offense, that's because of 2 reasons. You got a good defense and you're not worried about them making the stop. And you got a kicker that can kick the ball out past the center point, and that's exactly what he's been doing. And you trust your special teams to be able to cover a kick like that as well, too, especially on that big field. So we smoking, but by Labor Day, we should be on fire, baby.
I'll tell you what is on fire, and that is, apart from the Ticats themselves, head coach Scott Milanovich has worn the same Made in the Hammer shirt for all 4 of Hamilton's wins this season. And after every win, Bub O'Neill, who hosts the pregame and the halftime and the postgame with Matt Bucknor and Simoni and I, at least on the postgame, he's asked, Coach, I guess you're wearing this shirt again. And yes, with that logo that Sim's showcasing. And the answer is yeah. I mean, he's a superstitious guy, I guess. Matt, did you have any superstitions when you played?
Not professionally. If I had any type of routine, I'd always get a game day nap in. That was one of the things I would do, is make sure on game day I'm getting a nap. But aside from that, I didn't really have any superstitions. But in high school, I'm gonna kind of rewind. Let's go back to the high school days a little bit. But I used to have chocolate chip Eggo waffles on game day. I had to make sure I had chocolate chip Eggo waffles on game day, and then I have these Lucky Jordan socks that I used to wear, and that was my thing in high school. I had these Jordan socks, chocolate chip Eggo waffles for breakfast, and then it would get busy on game day. But yeah, those are the superstitions that I had in high school. But in pro, it's just make sure I get my game day nap in.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you, Matt. Like, before every game, I watch the Animal Planet and just sleep all day because lions, they just rest until it's
They
time
rest.
to hunt. You know what I mean? And I just rest until it's time to hunt. I force myself to sleep all day until the last possible second of me having to be at the game, every single football game. But listen, I'm extremely superstitious. And you know what helps you with this is having great equipment managers. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats have one of the best equipment managers in Drew. He is the equipment manager for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So Drew knows everything the players need because every single player is different. Like, for example, every football game, I need to have my eye black on the side of my locker that says Simi Hove. So I could put it on my eyes. Drew usually puts it on my eyes, and then I transform into Hove. And it's just like, that's just my thing. And then you go on the football field, and some people know you're superstitious too. Like, I would talk to my whole boundary. It was me at the time, Delvin Bro, and Carriel Brooks. And if we start the game off slow, I take off my visor, and then I go and whisper into all my defensive players' heads, I had to take off my visors because I want to see them. I want them to see my eyes when I kill them right now. I ain't hiding from nothing. And that's just like certain things that gets everybody on the same page without saying anything, you know, just, oh, okay, I see what kind of time he on. He about to be crazy, so everybody just leave Sim alone. He about to be cursing the other team, doing all kind of crazy stuff, you know? So it's good. Superstitions are perfect. I love what Coach Milanovich is doing because right now, he like, man, if me wearing this shirt gonna make us win football games, I'm wearing the shirt. Every time we ask him about the shirt, it'd be all next week too, you know what I'm saying? And it's great. And just because, I'll be complete honest, just because it doesn't go your way one time doesn't mean the superstitious is over. It doesn't mean like every time I take off my visor, I just turn Super Saiyan and get 17 tackles in a game. Sometimes we still lost, you know what I mean? That's part of the game. But the most consistent thing is Coach Milanovich, he's on a run right now. And you always go with consistency over once in a time. So they can catch an L here or there. Doesn't mean the superstitious is over. It just means that we got to get back on it. You know what I'm saying? But anything to start and get the team winning, man, I'm all for it. Those were my 3 superstitions. I take my visor off if the game look like we not starting too slow so they can look me in the eyes when I'm trying to kill something. And then I sleep all day because I'll be watching Animal Planet, and all the animals on Animal Planet just sleep all day before they go hunting. Some get their food and go back in hibernation. That's what I do. Order some food and I go right back in hibernation. And when I come out, it's all bad. I'm on bad timing.
Speaking of food, I had a game day routine when we were traveling with the Ticats on the road. And Sim, this would be during your time, and Matt as well. Yeah. That game day, I would go to Subway, get a spicy Italian foot-long sub, you know, consume that, memorize the spotting board that I created, and then get ready for the game. Win or lose, I did it every road game because it was just part of the routine.
Hey, Rick, I'm happy you brought that up. Rick is a pro, baby. Like, I love his routine, you know, and that's the thing about being a great coach or anything that you do in the business. You have to understand your personnel. It's called what, Matt? KYOP.
KYP.
You see what I'm saying? KYP, know your personnel. And that's how all great leaders stay great leaders. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I come in, I see Rick. He got his big bore. He's sharp. He know everything going on. Some guys, for example, I'll take it to football, then come back to broadcasting. Some guys like Speedy B, I know Speedy's going to walk into the locker room about 20 minutes before the football game about to start, but I know he's going to give me clips. I don't care what it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do what you have to do to complete the goal. Not like, the goal is always the goal, yo. Your process is your process, you know what I'm saying? In whatever team atmosphere you have, but you have to let the stars be the stars. Let them do what they can do to make things happen. For example, on broadcasting for me, I just like to walk around and remember stuff and talk the game in my head. I don't want anybody in my thoughts, so I don't want to be around too many people. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to walk around and talk about what I want to talk about, listen to what I want to listen to. So everybody got their own routine on how to be great. It's just you got to allow that environment. And as long as you're winning in that environment, you can't really say nothing about it because it's just like a superstitious. You know, it is a superstitious, right? You winning, everything's going good, and you're doing it the certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. Just let it go. Yep. Just let it go. Rules. When we talk about rules are for the minority, not the majority. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it's like do what makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes sense to help the team win.
If it's working, don't. I love the Charles Oakley saying, if it ain't broke, don't break it. Right? If it's going well, just keep going.
Yeah, because look, you see how, Matt, you see it all the time, right? It's like I've seen people put restrictions on certain players that can't handle those restrictions because they need a certain kind of atmosphere to produce on the field. Every single player is different, and that's what makes coaching so special. Is my favorite saying in my whole football career, I'm going to give it to Coach Austin. And he said, everybody will get treated fairly, but everybody won't get treated equal. That made the most sense to me for my rest of my career. And you know what you got to do to be the guy that gets treated different? Production. Everybody knows the guy that is producing production has a little longer leash. You know what I'm saying? And that's because he's helping feed everybody's families. That guy's scoring 5 touchdowns a game every time he come in here. Don't worry about Speedy coming a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's helping us feed our families every night. I know exactly what I'm getting out of that man, and I'll take that every single day. Every day, baby. Rick, absolutely. I'm so happy. Rick, you good at your job, bro.
4-2 Ticats taking on the 3-4 BC Lions this coming Sunday. It is a 6 o'clock pregame show start time, and the kickoff will be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's a 4 p.m. Pacific start time. And, of course, we'll have the postgame show and hopefully talking about another Tiger Cats win and asking Coach Milanovic if he's keeping on with that shirt. All right, this is going to be an exciting topic, I think, because we have two of the best football throwers in the game going toe-to-toe, and I know they don't meet each other on the field because they're playing both offense, but Levi Mitchell is smoking hot. Nathan Rourke, we know he has the tools to get the job done. It's the Jedi Master versus the apprentice, so to speak. Sim, this should be a lot of fun.
Look. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's slow down a little bit. The only reason, let's be completely fair, the only reason that we are saying this, that this is like a quarterback matchup, is because Nathan Canadian. Like, there in no real world you're going to compare what Nathan Rourke has done compared to what Levi has done. Right. You know what I'm saying? These two are way different atmospheres, so I don't want anybody to even think that they're even on the same planet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the case. The tool sets, though, that Nathan Rourke has is beneficial to his football team to compete against this Hamilton Tiger Cat defense right now, because he's one of the few quarterbacks that can do this, pull it, and make accurate throws, can get on the run and really get busy. He's a lot athletic than a lot of people think. The kid can move. The kid's like athletic as heck. Mm-hmm. He still makes a lot of mistakes here and there with the interceptions and everything. But the showdown, we gonna make it a showdown because we gotta sell sport tickets. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here. Nathan Rourke, Ontario boy. It's cool. He going to be back here. We about to play them here and then come back August 7th. But it's going to be good to have the Ontario boy go against somebody that he's trying to inspire to be in Levi, I would hope so. Multiple Grey Cup champions, 10th in the CFL in passing yardage, the most touchdowns in the CFL right now, the least amount of interceptions on turnover ratio. we can talk about Bo all day, you know what I'm saying? All we can really say about Rourke is that 2022 season where he came in and took the league by storm. Other than that, some may argue Vernon Adams should still have that job in BC because Vernon Adams is also outperforming the superstar quarterback Nathan Rourke, who took the job, who got handed the job from Vernon Adams. That wasn't a job he earned. It was a job they gave to him. So Nathan Rourke still has to get on that streak of, yeah, I'm the quarterback that everybody should be paying attention to. He hasn't earned that yet. It was something that was given to him, but he hasn't earned that yet. So that's Bo Levi. Bo, I need the bad look, y'all. I need that bad Bo this week. I need the one that's pointing in his veins after plays. I need the one that's taunting the sidelines. I need that Texas. I need the Katy, Texas Bo Levi, like the whole school there watching you play, excuse me, the Bo Levi family and everything, but all of the school in Katy, Texas watching the star quarterback. The cheerleaders is going crazy for Bo Levi. The fans is going crazy for Bo Levi. And he takes all that pressure, and you know what he does? He performs. That's what I love about Bo the most. He can take all of the adversity that comes with being a star quarterback, come back, act like nothing happened, and perform. That is the kind of mindset that you have to have at quarterback, because nobody's going to be up and down more than a quarterback. And for him to be able to keep the same sturdy face, whether he throws 20 interceptions or 20 touchdowns, I respect that. And that's a lot that Rourke can learn from, because I've seen games where the game didn't go his way and he ran off the field. I don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? So you can't compare the two, because he was given something, so he doesn't know how to handle it. When he earns it, he's going to take care of it, and he's going to be a monster with it. Can he be the future? Absolutely. But he still has to learn how to be a pro and get to the level of a Bo Levi so he can consistently be great no matter what happens through the process.
I totally agree. I think Rourke's got to climb a big mountain to get to the status of Bo Levi for sure. 2 Grey Cups, 2 MOPs, might lead a second franchise to a Grey Cup championship. Knock on wood, that happens this season. He's got a long way to go. And 2022 was a special year, but let's not forget, it was only half a season, and then he got hurt, and then, he went down to the NFL and tried to get, latch on with an NFL team. But I think it'll be fun, Matt, because Mitchell and Rourke are 2 guys in this league who aren't afraid to test defenses. They're not afraid to chuck it deep. They're not afraid to make those exciting plays.
Absolutely. And Nathan Rourke, Sim, I'm with you. This is a young quarterback. He still has to earn his stripes. And Bo is a wily veteran. He's a Hall of Famer. He retired. If Bo Levi was to retire tomorrow, he's going straight to the Hall of Fame. And that's just based off his resume, his pedigree, the way he's performed. As you talk about how he is under pressure. He's played in Grey Cups. He's lost Grey Cups, won Grey Cups. This guy and I think another thing too, with you mentioned Vernon Adams, Bo Levi, these are also quarterbacks that had to kind of, when they came into the CFL, they waited a little bit and they played behind a few quarterbacks for a few years before they got their shot. Nathan Rourke has kind of just been inserted right away into the mix, and now he's expected to be the guy. Now, in my opinion,
see what I'm saying?
I think a lot of quarterbacks, especially your young quarterback, you should kind of wait a little bit, especially because there's just so much development. There's so much to learn offensively, especially on the offensive side. I think a cornerback can come in and play right away, but there's just so much to the game. And then you look at the Cavillos of the league, you look at the Henry Burrises of the league, and all of these top quarterbacks. You talked about Tracy Ham. All these quarterbacks, they sat behind another quarterback before they were inserted into their position. And so I think, we're looking at a Hall of Famer against the future, potentially the future. But I think it's a great matchup, of course, because like you said, Rick, Nathan, you can't deny his arm strength. You can't deny his athletic ability. These are things that he has. He has these intangibles. But the team is 3-4, and they're 3-4. Well, they've also played a few games without Nathan, too. But he hasn't proved himself yet. And so I think to be a quarterback in the CFL, you got to do it for an extended period of time, especially if you're trying to you want to be the GOAT, you want to be the guy, you want to be the guy that every single broadcaster is going to talk about. Go ahead, sir.
No, but these broadcasters, they're going to talk about him anyway because he was given it.
Right.
In Canadian football media, it's everybody gets on the same page, and this is who we're boosting, this is who we're promoting, this is who we like. They don't let people go through the process of anything anymore. They want to be the people that undiscover the new. No, just let it flow, yo. This is why I love football, and football will never change. Because unless you earn it, you'll never reap the benefits of what you think you deserve. Like, you can let everybody tell you, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that. You will not reap the benefits in football unless you put in the work and earn it. Earn the trust of your teammates. Let your teammates rally around you, because it's a team game with a bunch of men that all think they should be the guy. And the only way to be the guy is to be the guy. And that's what he has to really go ahead and do. Like, you can tell who the guy's as. Is Vernon Adams a guy? Absolutely. Calgary had the worst record in the league with us last year. Where they at now, y'all, with Vernon Adams? They at the top. So the football gods is always going to read you the news at the end of the day and let you know what is going on. And that's why I love football. Matt, you hit it on the nose, yo. You know what I'm saying? You hit it on the nose. He was given something. And once you just given something, you don't really know how to take care of it like that, because somebody just gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like, my dad used to buy me some sneakers, and I'd be hype. I'd be wearing them. I'd dog them shoes up, dog them up. Man, one summer I went into the suburbs and I was cutting everybody grass, cutting everybody grass. I bought a pair of shoes. It ain't get dirty for 2 years. And Bo has earned his stripes, and that's why he's able to go through the ebbs and flows and understand how he got to protect this and how he has to keep the same mantra, whether he gets benched and then comes back and has to be the starter and leader. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
By the way, what kind of shoes did you get and you kept clean for 2 years?
Yo, I'm going to be real, yo. It wasn't nothing crazy. I just got some good old Chuck Taylors, you feel me? But they was my Chuck Taylors, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I bought those Chuck Taylors with my grass cut money, you feel me?
Good shoes.
Those was my babies. And even, I went back to the city. Everybody was ranking on, like, bro, you think them Chucks is all that? Because I used to wear my Chucks with my Dickie sets. In Philadelphia, we wear these, like, construction Dickie things. Yeah. And I had my Chucks on. And I tried to put the Chucks on the map. And everybody's wearing Timbs. And they try to get on my Chucks, but I made Chucks. I don't care. Converse, send me a check. Y'all owe me money.
That is awesome. All right, last topic on Ticats this week, and Matt, we'll start with you on this one. Unless the Ticats play in the Grey Cup in Winnipeg on November 16th, this weekend's game in BC is going to be the last time that Hamilton plays on a Sunday this season, excluding Labor Day Monday, because that's a special game. And we know, football players are creatures of habit. What was your most and least favorite day of the week to play a game?
You know what? Okay. I love any day you put a game on a Tuesday. When you play professional football, you put a game on a Tuesday, I'm happy. I'm happy. But if you're asking me, okay, now I'm not playing anymore. So I can give a different opinion. So now my favorite day, honestly, was a Saturday. I love Saturday afternoon games. I really do. I love Saturday after, especially in the summertime. You go to any stadium Saturday afternoon, the stadiums are packed. You got the people at tailgate. It's just it's a good vibe. My least, now excluding the playoffs, I don't like playing Sunday games, honestly, during the season. Playoff Sunday though that's just a different feel though. You play Grey Cup, right. Grey Cup game on a Sunday. That's you're not even thinking about the day of the week, to be honest. Once you get to the Grey Cup, you're not even thinking about that. You just say, this is the biggest game. I can't wait to get on this field. I can't wait to get loose and play with my teammates and compete for this championship. So any other day, I'm okay. But yeah, I don't like the Sundays during the regular season. I'll be honest. But again, Saturday afternoons, and those Friday night games too. The Friday night games are pretty exciting to get up for. Sim, how about you, man?
Can I run y'all through this, y'all?
Let's
Because I got
hear
a
it.
bunch of different answers, yo.
You can have maximum of 7. Go.
All right. High school, Friday night lights.
Yeah.
That's the environment I grew up in. Friday night lights in high school for me was we used to have the NBC flyby, and they would fly by every single high school, and they would fly over your high school until the team scored the touchdown. So as soon as you see that in the air, you like, coach, give me the ball. I got to score because I want to be on the news. You know what I'm saying? So in high school, Friday night lights, nothing like it. Yo, college, them Saturdays, primetime games at nighttime at Penn State, Ohio State with the lights on. Come on, bro. Don't even talk to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I go crazy. I'm prime time, and don't let me get one of those before everybody Friday night games before we're the only team, because there's over 125 schools in college football. You the first team to play. You know everybody's watching you on television that night. I love those games. And then you get to the pros. I'm a Hamilton boy. It's that Labor Day Classic on Monday, y'all. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to y'all like I can tell you anything different. It's that Labor Day Classic on Monday when the whole city shut down the city for us because everybody coming to see what they boys do to Toronto on a beautiful hot day. Oh my gosh, I get the chills just thinking about it. Goosebumps right now. Literally zoom in. I got goosebumps just thinking about Labor Day. I love Labor Day in Hamilton. And then I like Sunday games, but if I got a Sunday game like the Hamilton Tiger Cats got, because you play on Sunday and then you don't play until Sunday. Matt, what you know about a bye week without having a bye week? You know what I'm saying, though? Because you play Sunday and then you're not telling each other. Like somebody like me, I'm Wolverine. You give me, I got Monday off now and I got Tuesday off. Oh my gosh, I'm coming back to work. Coach, what you want me to do? What wall you want me to run? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because getting those days after, that's kind of recovery from a Sunday to Sunday, a Monday and Tuesday off, yo. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. But like, I don't really have I appreciate the environments that get created. You know what I'm saying? So in high school, it was Friday night lights. In college primetime football games. In the pros, nothing feels like I get like that Labor Day feeling. Oh my gosh, yo, I literally feel like I can do something crazy to all 12 people on the football field with nobody there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely the environment for me. Those are my days.
Yeah, Labor Day is certainly special. We'll get to that matchup in a few weeks' time, but plenty of football between now and then. 4-2 Ticats in BC to take on the 3-4 Lions. Tiger Cats pregame begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and we invite you to listen to us on the Ticats audio network. A new episode of Ticats This Week is going to drop next week. Subscribe, enjoy the show, and thanks for tuning in.
This has been the Ticats This Week on the Ticats Audio Network. Like, follow, and get a deeper understanding of your Hamilton Tiger Cats.